Hey, what's up, everybody? I was just thinking about a lot of things, man. Yeah, I'm up. I'm not sleeping. It's just super tricky, but there's been a lot of things on my mind, man. Different shooting stuff and a lot of different things that has been going on. But I'm trying to look at this church shooting thing in a couple of ways. Not, of course, I'm outraged. Of course, I'm angry. Of course, it's a disrespect and a blatant act of violence and hate and discrimination and all other different stuff, But trying to look at it from two different places. So, like, let's look at it from the earthly standpoint, us being in America, being what we call, African American, or as my dude Jay Morrison says, New Africans. I like that better. But when I look at everything, it's like on one side of it. When you look at the black, things that we suffer through as black people, um, really compare. If we can compare, the African American race to the Jewish, the Jewish culture, the Jewish people, the Jewish race. Now with the Jews, you know, every time they were, because they were in slavery and different things a couple of times in different, situations. So, I think they really, um, they can really somewhat relate to what we went through a lot. But we just went through it like a lot longer. But they just had different periodics. I'm not trying to go into the history and stuff, but anyway, um, their first situation of slavery, Egypt. They were in Egypt. God delivered them. He delivered them by helping them leave. They were they left Egypt. They left Egypt. Okay. Boom. That's one thing. Then he had to work on their slave mentality. You know, that was another situation. But let's deal with the situation at hand. All right. Boom. Then let's go to the situation when they were in Germany. Now there were still a lot of Jews that after everything went down with Hitler and everything like that, and he was defeated and whatnot. There were still Jews in Germany, but then um, they had something where they went back to, to Jerusalem, to Israel. They left, the land they were being oppressed in. Okay. Now I say that to say us where we are now, um, we're still in the land where we're oppressed. Um, and I think a lot of the things that we deal with is because one, the land that we live in, at some point deep down in the back of its mind, in the deeper in the crevices of its soul as a country, I still don't think that what was going on a couple hundred years ago, or probably like 100 or 60, 70 years ago was wrong. Um, So, what I mean, I think it's just it was, a lot of the things that did happen, it was a godsend, it was a blessing, Emancipation Proclamation, 13th Amendment, different things like that needed to happen. Yes, it was, the time for it. Um, but when we got to look at, a lot of things. Someone said that, a lot of the revolutions, a lot of the, independences that you do see wasn't given by the oppressors. It was demanded by the people. You know what I mean? And you don't really see that too much from the African Americans. You see it, you know, back in the '60s and different things like that. But it got snuffed out. The people that was leading it, they took them out. So I mean, and we manage the best way we can without. the leadership of, the people that were actually leading these revolutions, these movements, these independent uprisings that that were going. Now here we are. But it seems like we go in circles, man. It really does. It's like, constant the same thing, like the government, this and that, the government. But some, I think there's some things that we really need to do on our own. In a sense, one, we as a people, we gotta come together. I mean, a lot of the things that that America gets away with is for the simple fact that we are divided as a people. We're not standing together as one. Many but yet one. Movement. Just one, like whereas that we move as one body, one unit, a community. We come to unity. So when you look at everything that's going on, everybody has their, at the end of the day, the bottom line, the common denominator is that we're upset. We're upset. Um, the Trayvon Martin situation. Well, you can go back to the Rodney King situation, but just even recently in this generation, the Trayvon Martin situation was the catalyst that broke, an invisible barrier that really just started a whole chain of events. That now you see cops killing people, just a lot of killings of black men, and it's nothing. A cop can kill a black man and get off, but yet, I just recently saw a dude, a dog bit his daughter, and the dude killed the dog, and now he's in jail. I mean, Mike Vick, had the situation where, the dog stuff and inhumaneness with the dog, but yet, Zimmerman walked free for killing a young guy who they made out to be a thug, and he only had Arizona can and some Skittles. So I mean, this is the country we're living in. So that's just on the black front. I think we need, as a people, we really need to um, come together as one. Really decide, and really, is the problem is we're not recognized or respected as a people. We gotta establish ourselves as a people, a force to be reckoned with, to be understood and to be respected. You gotta, some things you gotta demand respect, the positive way, and yes, we have built this country. Yes, we created a whole bunch of inventions that people use and that is a part of our daily lives that people don't even know about. I mean, if they did, they'd be shocked. But at the end of the day, what do we still have? If I always say this: if someone cut, cut all the public assistance, if they cut off all, all the welfare, Social Security, they cut all the programs that us as as a people we depend upon. What are we gonna do? We got no property, we got no businesses, we got. So I mean, at the end of the day, man, and it's not saying pulling ourselves up by the bootstraps, but the fact that we are still poor, but yet as a people we have 1.1 trillion dollars worth of spending power as a people says a lot. And it's like no money is circulated in our community. We don't have no type of economy. That's why I really support Jay Morrison on his efforts on really trying to establish this thing. I mean, I'm with him 100%. Um, and because it's like at the end of the day, man, I mean, I'm really getting more adamant about it because I got two kids. What do my kids got to look forward to in this country? What do my brothers and sisters have to look forward to? What does my cousins, what I mean, have to look forward to? Our parents, our grandparents, our uncles, our aunts, all these, within the next couple, decade or two, they're not going to be here. I mean, we're going to be in their place. So the time is now where we need to really start thinking and reevaluating what we really want to do and what a future is really going to look like. So that's on one part. Just a quick Christian plug. Um, the whole church thing that happened, man, is definitely upsetting, definitely disheartening. Um, all these different emotions pop up. But theologically, is I wrote a paper in college, and it was about um, is are we to is suffering mandatory? The Bible does talk about how as in order to be, a good Christian or a contrite Christian or just being a Christian period, you're gonna have to suffer. You're gonna go through persecution. Blessed are the persecuted. That's what the Bible talks about. So I mean, and even when you go into Acts, when you looked into Acts, the only time that what made the church grow was when we were persecuted. This is something I was, when I was actively preaching, I preached about a lot. You know what I mean? I wasn't the most popular person, and it wasn't the most popular message, but it's real. I mean, look, Jesus' ministry was in the streets, healing, touching people. The very people he came to save was the very people that crucified him. I was, trying to, yell and crucify him. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I think our understanding of ministry has been misconstrued, and you gotta understand this is the last and evil days, man. Jesus is coming back, and we gotta get our act together. But if it takes persecution, to for us to get our act together, sometimes they said, listen, man, it's like they said like I heard it's a saying. They said Christians is like a tea bag; they only good in hot water. That doesn't give any justification for what the young man did. I'm not siding with him at all. It's wrong. What I'm saying is that we gotta be sensitive to what's going on and really ask God, okay, what was the meaning of this? What was the purpose of this? How are you using this for your glory? Everything, God can use whatever He wants for His glory. So, I think that, yes, the Bible says, be angry but sin not. I don't think we should go be taking pitchforks and go out there and rioting and doing stuff like that. But I think that, listen, man, God made man to partner with Him, to be able to move and shake the world, So He needs our prayers. He needs our, active participation to change this world, So I think that if we really focus in on praying and really, seeing what His Word says, hearing His voice, His whisper as He whispers, a still, small voice, I think we really would be able to discern what's going on right now and get some direction. That's what I'm really trying to do. I mean, trying to really get back into that place. Um, but I think as a people, as a whole, I'm not just talking about black people, talking about as a whole. Um, Racism is a tool from the devil, I believe, definitely. And the more we make, we focus on the flesh of things, the more we get away from the spirit of things. And I think we need to focus our efforts, not blaming the government, not blaming this and that, but really calling it out for what it is a spirit. And it's just using, vessels, just like God uses people, the enemy uses people. So I think that, like they said, the revolution won't be televised. Um, it will be YouTube. It will be seen. It will be felt. It will be moved. And I think we need to just move forward. I know this video was kind of long, but I just had to get this off my chest. This is really on my chest. I hope you guys really look all the way through and tell me what you think about what I said and reply back. But I don't expect everybody to agree with what I said. But I think really as a people, man, we there's two sides of things. We gotta do what we gotta do, but and before we hold anybody else accountable for any actions, we gotta really take self-examination. We gotta take inventory on ourselves, and you really correct some things so that when we're pointing a finger, those three that's pointing back, aren't really pointing back at some issues. You know what I mean? So let's rock and roll, man. All right, Jason. Lucas, aka Jason Christ Liaison, aka young businessman of the year. All right, so all right, see you, peace.